The Trump administration has initiated a sweeping purge of the federal workforce. Thousands of federal employees are losing their jobs. At least 14,000 workers have been fired. This is just the beginning. Thousands more are expected to be terminated in the coming months. This sudden and dramatic move has sent shockwaves through the government. Employees are left reeling. The administration claims these firings are about efficiency. Critics see it as a blatant attempt to dismantle the federal government. These firings target a specific group: probationary employees. These are employees who have been on the job for less than 1 or 2 years. They have less job security. They are vulnerable. The Trump administration is exploiting this vulnerability. They are using it to push out a significant portion of the federal workforce. The scope of these firings is unprecedented. It is a major shakeup of the federal government. The administration claims these firings are necessary. They say it will reduce government spending. They say it will improve efficiency. They say it will make the civil workforce more responsive. But critics aren't buying it. They see it as a power grab. They say it's an attempt to replace experienced civil servants with Trump loyalists. The firings are happening quickly. There is a sense of chaos and confusion. Employees are being let go with little to no warning. The impact on morale has been devastating. The firings have created a climate of fear and uncertainty. No one knows who will be next. The federal government is facing a crisis. The question is, will it survive? The Trump administration is defending its decision. They say the mass firings are about efficiency. They argue that the federal government is bloated and inefficient. They claim that these firings are necessary to streamline the government. They want to make it more responsive to the needs of the American people. They point to the fact that the federal workforce has grown significantly in recent years. They argue that this growth has led to duplication and waste. They say that by eliminating these redundancies, they can save taxpayer money and improve government services. The administration also argues that these firings are about accountability. They say they are targeting employees who are not performing up to standards. They claim that these firings are necessary to ensure that the government is staffed with competent and qualified individuals. However, critics argue that the administration's claims are misleading. They point out that the federal workforce has actually shrunk in recent years. They also argue that the administration has not provided any evidence to support its claims of waste and inefficiency. The impact of these firings is already being felt across the government. Essential services are being disrupted. Agencies are struggling to function. The Department of Veterans Affairs has been hit particularly hard. Over 1,000 employees have been fired. This is impacting the delivery of healthcare to veterans. The Department of Health and Human Services has also been significantly impacted. Over 5,200 employees have been fired, including 1,269 at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This comes at a time when the country is still grappling with the COVID-19 pandemic. Other agencies impacted include the Department of the Interior, where 2,300 employees have been fired, including 1,000 at the National Park Service. The Environmental Protection Agency has seen 388 employees fired. The Department of Education has had dozens fired from federal student aid. These firings are having a devastating impact on public services. Veterans are facing longer wait times for health care. Environmental protections are being weakened. Student loan processing is being delayed. The firings are also having a demoralizing effect on the remaining federal workforce. Employees are afraid to speak out for fear of losing their jobs. This is creating a culture of fear and silence. The long-term consequences of these firings are still unknown. However, one thing is clear: the Trump administration's actions are having a profound impact on the federal government. The Trump administration's mass firings have not gone unchallenged. 5 unions, including the American Federation of Government Employees, are suing the administration. They allege that the firings violate reductions in force procedures. RIF procedures are designed to ensure that federal employees are laid off fairly. They require agencies to consider factors such as seniority and performance when making layoff decisions. The unions argue that the Trump administration is circumventing these procedures. They claim that the firings are based on eliminating perceived waste, which is not an allowable RIF reason. The firings have also sparked a political backlash. Congressional Democrats are outraged. They are calling for investigations into the firings. They are also demanding that the Trump administration halt the firings immediately. Senator Richard Blumenthal has been a vocal critic of the firings. He has called them a waste of taxpayer dollars and a threat to our national security. He has vowed to fight to protect federal employees from what he calls Trump's reckless and irresponsible actions. The firings have also drawn criticism from some Republicans. They worry that the firings will damage the morale of the federal workforce and harm the quality of government services. The legal and political challenges to the Trump administration's mass firings are just beginning. It remains to be seen whether these challenges will be successful. However, one thing is clear: the firings have ignited a firestorm of controversy.